What does one say to an ancient Nephilim ghost?
I suppose you start with...
This is Sparta! Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
What's going on YouTube? It's Filthy and we're back with another video. Today we are doing our first drop highlight video on the channel. We've done 100 runs on the Nova Necro 105s, nothing fancy, just trying to build out our Trag'Oul avatar push build. So this is going to be the highlights from those runs, and we're going to talk about whether RNG was really good to us or whether it absolutely shot us in the balls. You'll find out by the end of the video. This is the first type of this kind of video on the channel. I hope you like it. I hope you find it entertaining. Any feedback is welcome. I will make another one, maybe on a different class if it is well received. And if it isn't, well, maybe that'll be the end of my little experiment. 105s with just under 2.1k Paragon on the Necro. Basically, we've got a very budget Trag'Oul avatar build going at the moment. We've got like an augment on a primal weapon. We've got one more ancient piece, which is actually the boots, which are quite nice because they've got Death Nova damage on. But the rest of the Trag'Oul stuff is non-ancient. And as I say, that's what we're trying to do with these 100 runs, is see, can we power up our push build? So solo 150, Trag'Oul Necromancer. I don't think we need all 13 slots as ancient and augmented. Obviously, it would be a big help if we could. But we've got basically no good pieces. So that is kind of why we've decided to do this. Before we do talk about the runs and get into it, as always guys, thumbs up brightens my day. Subscribe if you are enjoying season 28, and as I say, let me know if you're interested in more videos of this type. The 100 runs were not done in a single session. I will highlight when I jump in and out. It took 5 hours 38 minutes to do all 100 runs, so that's 338 minutes, or about 3.5 minutes per run. That does include spending all of the shards, it includes looking through all of the items, it includes me stopping to make notes pretty much at the end of most of the runs, and I'm a clan leader in the game, so it involves, you know, responding to people's questions, so on and so forth. So I'd say the average clear time from the 100 runs was probably about 2.5 minutes. We get a few really nice juicy under 2 minute ones, which are mucho fun. We get a couple of crappy ones of like over 3 minutes, but on the whole, I'd say the average probably was about 2.5. Nova is a lot of fun to play. I could have done this on Bone Spear, I guess, and it would have been maybe a little faster for the average clear time, but I just like blowing things up with Nova, so yeah, that's what we did. So this is the end of the first run. Spoiler alert, the first 3 runs are all a bust. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to watch this back on my computer. I'm going to jump back and forth to the highlights, talk about the items, why we kept them, and so on and so forth. And yeah, we're going to look for drag pieces. Let's see, do we get a prime off the first one? Spoiler, the answer is no. I mean, look how long it takes to kill this boss. If you don't get a pylon for the boss, it can be a little slow. And I think this was one of the slower runs, so not off to a great start. Let's go find something interesting to look at. So the first 3 runs were indeed a bust. We did find a few interesting items. We're looking for Crispin Sentence. We want one of those. That's the ring that does extra damage. We're looking for Dainty's Binding. We've got 2 of those items to ID. Unfortunately, both of them turn out to be rubbish. So we must keep looking. No drag pieces. We do get a wizard source here with the Talrashers. But unfortunately, we're just not interested in anything non-ancient. And that includes the puzzle ring that we just saw. We're only looking for ancient puzzle rings. The next 3 runs equally are a bust. Runs up to number 6 don't yield anything. I do get very excited at the end of this run because we've got 4 trag pieces to ID, 2 pants, 2 chest. We've got another Dainty's Binding. I'm thinking this is going to be super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Super easy, barely an inconvenience.
But we get back to town. We ID this stuff, and again, unfortunately, it is all just simply for the bin.
Miss Brandt?
Yes.
Get me a violin.
So run 9 was a nice festering woods into a battlefield. We actually get our first item that goes in the stash here, which is the indestructible shoulders, Spoulders of Zakara, something like that. I just figure we'll use those on a follower. But first 9 runs, I'm feeling pretty disappointed at this point. No good drops, and yeah, I think we screwed up the shard rotation as well, because I'm an idiot and I forgot.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Another 9 ancient puzzle. Again, it's probably for the bin. But there's the ancient Zakara shoulders, so I think they'll do for an enchantress at some point. On run 11 now, guys, I remember thinking distinctly at this point, I actually really enjoy conduit pylons. They make the runs so much faster. Man, I wish we could get one on everyone. Sadly, no drops though. And run 12, I decided I distinctly don't like juggernauts. Real problem for the Necro, but at least we do get some drops at the end of this run. When we get to the end of run 12, I decide I actually like juggernauts if we've got power pylon. We get an ancient gold wrap, which we decide to keep. We get a couple of other interesting things, I think, in this run. We get Ancient Inarius chest. I've probably got a better one, but I think I shove it in the stash anyway. And then we get a nice pair of Bone Spear shoulders. Not really what we're looking for, but I think, what the hell, we might well keep it to see whether we can use it on Bone Spear moving forwards, as well as these delicious double crit Bone Spear gloves. Not ancient, but they go in the pile to be looked at later. And run 13 gives us our first sub 2 minute clear. Starting to feel like we're gaining some progress here. We just need the drops to come. Sadly, they don't. Next Rift as well is another fast one, but we just get stiffed on the RNG.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Run 15 is done. We pick up a Trag'Ouls helmet. Unfortunately, again, it's another crappy one. So, whilst we're finding a lot of trag pieces so far, we're not really getting terribly much useful. We do decide to save these physical percent Blackthorn pants for our Necro Mage's T16 build, but aside from that, it's pretty much a bust again. Run 16 yields another 3 Trag'Oul pieces. We'll ID them at the end of a couple more runs, see if they're any good. Ooh, I hope so. And run 17 brings up 2,100 Paragon. Always nice to get those round numbers. I'm a simple person, pleased by simple things.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Run 18, unfortunately, is a double depth keeps. I mean, we managed to get through it pretty fast because we get lucky and get a nice speed pylon. Unfortunately, we don't get any drops, but we do get our first success at Kadala.
Great success.
And here we go. We now hit some red on the offhand. We get ourselves a lost time and, importantly, an Iron Rose. Now, unfortunately, this has rolled particularly badly for us. What we're looking for ideally is Death Nova damage, crit chance, and area damage. We have none of the 3 stats that we want. So there's 5 things really about this offhand. You want the damage roll at the top to be handy, those 3 stats that we just mentioned, and then the Nova near to 50% if you can. So we've got 2 out of 5. We can roll the 3rd one. We really want 4 out of 5, but we do start using this offhand moving forwards because it is kind of nice. The lost time, unfortunately, again, does not roll well at all because it rolls with area damage on it, which we don't really want for a Z-neck. It would have been a great Z-neck piece. Otherwise, we could have rolled some tanky stats. Bone Spear, it could be a usable one. Obviously, we keep it, but we'd be looking to roll the Bone Spikes, I guess, for something for Bone Spear. But whilst they're the 2 offhands I really want this season, neither of them have rolled particularly well. Run 19 passes completely without incident, but at least run 20 is nice and fast at 1 minute 45. Run 22 gives us another 2 trag pieces, both helms to look at. Unfortunately, again, they both drop crappy, neither ancient and not what we're looking for. Runs 22 and 23 yield us absolutely nothing, and then look at this, what a waste of a battlefield. Conduit pylon 97%. Why couldn't we get this map first? Unfortunately, we don't get any drops from it either, so we have to come back to fight again another day.
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
I'll be back. I'll be back.
I'll be back. I'm back.
We're back on the second day. Not a bad start. We end up with a Dainty's Binding, a key, and also a Trag'Ouls helm. I think this has got to be feels like the millionth Trag helm we've looked through. Still, it is absolutely no joy for us. Run 26, I realised that I've actually left the Enchantress on from doing some key farming, and my Enchantress is dead, and I don't really get any benefit from her, so that's a bit of a fuck up.
And then we'll laugh. High five.
Run 27 also doesn't give us anything, and I think at this point I'm cheesed off with rolling offhands, so we decide we're going to go for chests, see if we can get better luck from Kadala here. Looking for some more red, I think all we find is a nice bone spear chest, so I think that's it. Man, I want some trags. Run 28 is a nice and fast one, under 2 minutes. We're rewarded by getting an Echoing Nightmares key at the end. Really am starting to think, we want some primals here. We haven't had a primal yet. We've had 26 runs. Where are they? Sadly, again, no Trag'Oul avatar pieces. Well, I guess the Echoing Nightmare key's okay. Run 30, again we get another Trags piece. I don't think it turns out to be any good, but we do end up with some nice Rathma gear. Unfortunately, it's not what we're looking for. But as you can see, we've got 5 Rathma pieces, 2 Trags, but still, we're not really doing particularly well here. There we are, a nice Rathma ribcage, nearly primal on the intelligence. Armor's pretty decent for the Necro, so yeah, that's a good piece.
Great success.
So run 33 is done. I feel like the game's trolling me a little bit now. We get a fairly nice funerary pick, a little bit low on the damage, but it's got the nice modifier. We probably won't use it. And just to rub it in, just how crap the RNG has been on the first third of this video, we actually end up getting an Ancient Wizard hat. Gee, thanks game. During Rift 34, I get terribly lost on this map. I hate this map, and I'm beginning to hate this whole idea, the whole concept. We're not getting any drops. I'm getting frustrated. I don't like getting stuck at this tunnel. At the end of run 36, we do again have another 2 Trag'Oul pieces to look through. Surely we're due an ancient piece by now. I mean, how many's it been? It's got to have been at least 10. What do we get? We get stiffed again. Yeah, non-ancient, rubbish. Non-ancient, rubbish. At the end of Rift 38, we managed to pick ourselves up a Rabid Strike. I guess that's going to be handy for when we make our Monk later. We've got a Haunted Visions to look through as well. One of the key pieces for Bone Spirit, really hoping that it drops well. But unfortunately, we just don't really have the luck today. Poison, non-ancient, attack speed. We've actually now completed Rift 42 on the next session. I took a little break. We're getting quite frustrated. We're having technical difficulties, computer crashing. We get an Ancient Lornell Sunstone. I think we chuck that in the stash because we think, why the hell not? We get a Haunted Visions. It's ancient, but it's got the wrong elements, and it's got int and life per hit, so it is not what we're looking for. We get a Skull Shield, which is not good. And yeah, we're really getting kicked in the nuts here on this one.
You want to be a farmer? Here's a couple of acres.
But at least we get something out of our shards. Kadalo, again, I've just decided let's do pants. Pants may be the easiest thing to hit. Let's hope we get something nice and red.
Yes! Yes! Oh, yeah! Can you feel that, buddy? Huh?
Which we do. And of course we get cold elements on our Blackthorns. No gold find, otherwise we would have used that for mages. Physical percent gold find would have been nice. We also pick ourselves up a Hexing Pants of Mr. Yan. I have absolutely no idea what the hell I will use these for. Perhaps, maybe I'll reroll the main stat on it and use it on the Barb, but it goes in the stash anyway because at the end of the day it's primal. Again, no drops from 43, 44 or 45. We do get back-to-back sub 2 minute rifts, and I think we make that 3 in a row under 46. All that we end up getting is an Echoing Nightmares key again, and a pair of Trag boots that do not roll well. Rift 47 gives us another chance at a Trags piece. We're going to have gloves this time, and again another Echoing Nightmare key. Fortunately, the gloves are complete trash, and we throw them away. Rift 49 gives us another sub 2 minute clear, nice Festering Woods. All we yield out of it, unfortunately, is a crappy Iron Rose. Again, it goes straight in the bin. Rift 50 gives us a Haunted Visions again to look at, and as well as a COE. Unfortunately, both our pants and get salvaged. Halfway through here, this is getting pretty disappointing. But at the end of run 51, I actually look at the Rathma gloves we get. They are ancient. They don't roll terribly well, but we can put double crit on them. We also get an ancient gold skin, which we decide to keep for our T16 Mage Necro. And other than that, the rest of the stuff is a bit of a bust. Run 52 gives us a pair of Trag'Oul shoulders as well as Rathma shoulders. Really hoping that either of these drop well. Not so much the Trag shoulders because I think we're going to end up using all guilds, but we'll see what we can do. Run 53 weirdly gives us a Mundanugu chest. I think we've got enough Mundanugu pieces to actually power level our own Witch Doctor now, which is pretty cool. It was also a sub 2 minute clear, so that was kind of nice too. At the end of run 54, we do ID these Trag shoulders. They do turn out to be ancient, which I think initially I'm quite pleased at, and then I remember, hang on, we're not going to be using these, but we decided to keep them anyway because you never know, we might at some point decide that we want to play with 6 pieces of Trag'Ouls, so actually having the shoulders may well be handy. So this made me laugh. I was raging at this shielder here. Bit of irony, I'm actually using shield myself. What an asshole.
How dare you!
At the end of the rift, we were rewarded with a Dainties binding and some Trag'Oul pants. So run 56 and 57 don't give us terribly much, but it turns out this belt is a keeper. It's got 48% on the damage reduction, which is pretty nice. We don't get the main stats that we want on it. We don't really want life per second. We want some more defensive stats, but I think we decided that is good enough. We also get quite a nice Jesseth Skull Shield, easy for me to say. Ancient, it's got cooldown, it's got crit chance. We can roll that socket off for something hopefully better. Run 58 is a very satisfying fatty explosion mess. I just love battlefields, blowing up these fat gits and collecting all the orbs. This is where Nova shines. This is where it's most fun to play, in my opinion. Running down these corridor maps and just blowing the hell out of all these little wimpy little enemies. Boom, boom. Run 60 gives us another Dainty's Binding. Unfortunately, it's not better than the one that we have. I also get a little frustrated at the fact that we're really slow on the Paragon points here, so I buzz off to go play support for a bit. So we're back on the Necro. We've got another 50 Paragon points from playing support. I can see my computer's really struggling because this footage looks like absolute potato. Yeah, it's been a challenge doing this, guys. Run 63 drops us another Iron Rose. Unfortunately, it is not as nice as the shiny primal one we have. It's not even ancient. It doesn't even have the right stats. Now, run 65 is potentially interesting. Again, apologies for the potato footage here, but we do get 2 Haunted Visions, so let's find out if either of them drop well. So we ID them at the end of run 66. We do have physical, but it's non-ancient. The other stats are crap. I think we saved this Compass Rose. 7% attack speed and 44% crit chance is kind of nice. The second Haunted Vision is worse than the first, I think, so we bin it off, but we do finally get a Trag upgrade. Woohoo!
Yes! Yes!
Double crit gloves. We can roll some area damage on there, and that is pretty decent. We're quite happy with that. So we call that a great success.
Great success.
Of course, with my childish sense of humour, guys, we've got to stop on Rift 69. It's just a funny number.
Naughty, naughty.
And from Rift 69, we get an ancient pair of Nemesis braces. They go straight in the stash for use on a follower. Trag's boots are not good, and they go in the bin. Like blowing up Hamlin with Trag'Ouls, we're rewarded with an Echoing Nightmare key, I think, from this run. It's about the only thing of any note that we pick up. We really are struggling here. Run 72, we're just putting all this stuff in the bin. It is all dropped badly, and we have got very little to show for our efforts so far. Getting kind of worried, because we're getting towards the end of this. We're back to fight again on another day. We get a Trag'Ouls helm and a Haunted Visions, both of which turn out to be rubbish. The next Rift 75 is pants, we get nothing. 76 gives us a key. 77, we're dying of lag. 79 has been a fast run. We've ended up on a festering. We've got some shield pylon, cooldown pylon action, and we get our first primal drop. Woohoo!
Can you feel that, buddy? Huh? Huh? Huh?
It's an amulet. We're getting excited. It could be Haunted Visions. What else have we got? We've got a pair of braces. Let's find out what they are. Wisdom of Cologne amulet. But at least we've got the correct braces for the Rathma build, the Bonds of Selena. I demonstrate tremendous patience and don't ID the braces until we get back. If you're wondering what those gems are, we're trying to duplicate some augment gems as we're going so that we can power these gems up. The Wisdom of Cologne is terrible.
No! God, please, no! No!
It has got awful stats. It's probably for the bin. I haven't binned it yet. I really should do. The Bonds of Selena actually are nice. We can roll the element. It's got crit chance. Don't really want life per hit, but we're going to have to make do with it. We're going to roll off the life per second, probably for an element. They'll go in the stash to be kept. We're back on another day this time. We have done numbers 82, 3 and 4. We actually end up with a nice pair of Tasker and Theo. They're ancient. Again, they're going to go on my Nova. Keep saying Nova. Mage Necro. We're going to roll Goal Find on them. We do also have a Haunted Visions, and it might just be better than what we've got. Got physical 17%, high roll on int. It does have area damage, but it's the bottom roll. Probably isn't better than what we've got, but I think we chuck it in the stash to think about it and decide what to do with it later. Probably we're just going to bin that one. 85, we get another Trag's chest. Got to be ancient this time. Surely, guys. Surely, surely, surely. No, we're going to get shot in the balls again. Because it isn't. And we're running out of rifts. So the next few rifts absolutely troll us. We get an Echoing Nightmare key, we roll shards, we get a crappy Iron Rose, and then the game on Rift 88 really does feel like kicking me in the absolute balls here. We're cruising through this map, we're on 98%, we're hoping for the boss to pop. Never mind, we'll go to the next floor. Oh, look at that. It's Festering Woods with an elite and a pylon. Gee, thanks game. 89 gives us nothing. 90 is at least sub 2 minutes, but again, we're not getting any drops. We've got 10 rifts left and we've got almost no drops from this session. Run 91 gave us nothing. 92 is at least sub 2 minutes. We do one-shot the boss pretty effectively, which is very satisfying. We get a Haunted Visions, a Trag Shoulder, and a Crispin Sentence. Unfortunately, all three are crap and go in the bin. 93 is also another fast one, under 2 minutes. We get no reward for doing this. 2 in a row though, so we'll keep going. 94 is also going to be a sub 2 minutes, so 3 in a row. Are we going to get a reward for actually performing well in these rifts? Come on game, give us some primals, give us something.
No, I don't think I will.
And in fact, our reward is a fairly nice pair of Bone Spear shoulders because they've got the 20% area damage on them. Low roll on the intelligence, but I think we decide to keep these. We've got a few nice Bone Spear pieces, but still we've only really got the Trag's gloves so far. Runs 95, 96, 97 are all a bit of a bust. We end up with an Ancient Trag'Ouls Corroded Fang with 199% on the modifier. Almost perfect roll on intelligence. I think we stick this in the stash because I'm thinking again maybe T16 mages, but I'm not sure I'm going to play a build that uses it, but we decide to keep it. Again, the rest of the stuff I'm afraid to say is pants. Rift 98 Blue Gome up in a cemetery map. Our reward Haunted Visions. This is probably going to be the last one of these we find. And so guys, we come to run 100, which is the last run of this particular series. At this point, I'm feeling pretty despondent. We've played for 5.5 hours and we've managed to pick up a few pieces, albeit admittedly for Rathma and for Bone Spear, but out of what we actually really wanted here, we've got a Primal Iron Rose. I suppose that's kind of good, albeit I would like better stats on it. And we got ourselves a nice pair of Trag's gloves. But out of the 1,300-ish items we looked through, plus all the blood shards we rolled, I really don't feel like we got good value out of this. I'm not sure what to do moving forwards with this Necro, whether we decide to do some bounties and do some reforging. And even this last run at number 100, despite the fact that it was Festering Woods, it's probably one of our slowest clears as well. I mean, sometimes, guys, this is just it. This is how RNG is. It can be cruel, it can not care about your feelings, and it can not give you the stuff that you want. We looked through a lot of Trag's pieces, we looked through a lot of Haunted Visions, several Crispin Sentences. We found the pieces that we want, as in like the actual base item, just quite unlucky with the drops and with the rolls. I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope you enjoyed the clips, memes, edits. I might just simply commentate on the next one live because I know it's not great watching something back on the screen. My recording problems are hopefully behind me. If they're not, I'm probably going to have to buy a new PC. But I suppose that's a good excuse for that. Right, I hope you enjoyed the video. Just to be kicked in the balls, there is an Ancient Haunted Visions with bad stats. Yeah, a disappointing run. Only two primals from Kadala, one primal dropped out of it. Like 100 runs, that seems pretty low. Maybe we're going to have better fortune moving forwards. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know your feedback. I've been Filthy Casual. Take it easy, guys. Peace.